In March 1999, Sydney, Australia, witnessed a prison break that seemed like it was ripped straight out of a Hollywood movie. But this wasn't fiction. This was the real-life escape of John Killick, a convicted bank robber with nothing to lose, and his lover, Lucy Dudko, a quiet librarian who shocked the world with what she did for love. John Killick was no stranger to crime. Born in 1941, he had a long history of offenses mostly centered around bank robberies and theft. By the late 90s, Killick had become a familiar name in Australia's criminal underworld. He was serving a hefty sentence at the Silverwater Correctional Complex, a high-security prison in Sydney. By all appearances, he was locked up for good. But behind bars, Killick had found an unlikely accomplice, Lucy Dudko. A Russian-born librarian who had lived a quiet, uneventful life, Dudko was nothing like the criminals Killick usually surrounded himself with. Yet, something about Killick intrigued her. Over time, what began as visits turned into something deeper. Love or obsession took hold. In the weeks leading up to the escape, Dudko began laying out the pieces of a plan that no one could have anticipated. She rented a helicopter under the guise of a scenic tour over Sydney. On March 25, 1999, she boarded the chopper with pilot Tim Joyce. They took off smoothly from Bankstown Airport, and all seemed normal, until she pulled out a pistol midair and ordered Joyce to fly to the prison. Meanwhile, at Silverwater, it was just another day for the inmates. Killick was out in the yard, under guard, surrounded by fences and high security. No one expected that the silence of the afternoon would be shattered by the sound of helicopter blades slicing through the air. As the helicopter hovered over the prison, guards on the ground were confused and then alarmed. Dudko screamed at the pilot to land in the exercise yard. Once the skids touched the ground, Killick ran and climbed aboard while guards opened fire. Bullets flew, but miraculously no one was hit. The helicopter took off carrying a convicted criminal and his devoted partner in crime. It was one of the boldest escapes in Australian history. The couple flew to Macquarie University where they forced the pilot out and hijacked a vehicle. And just like that, they vanished into the chaos of Sydney's streets. For the next 45 days, Killick and Dudko were on the run. They changed appearances, moved between motels and safe houses, and left law enforcement chasing shadows. The media exploded with theories and speculation. How could a librarian become a fugitive? How did a prison with high-level security allow such an escape? Public fascination grew. Every sighting was reported. Every rumor fed the fire. Were they hiding in the bush? Were they getting help from organized crime? No one knew for sure. But as always, time caught up with them. On May 8, 1999, they were found in a caravan park in Base Hill, not far from where they had started. A park manager recognized their faces from news reports and called the police. Authorities moved in quickly. There was no dramatic standoff, no shootout. Just a quiet arrest that ended an unbelievable chapter in Australian crime history. In court, Lucy Dudko faced serious charges, including hijacking the helicopter and helping Killick escape. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Many still couldn't believe she had done it. A librarian turned outlaw. A woman who traded bookshelves for bulletproof vests. She served 7 years and was released in 2006. Killick received an extra 15 years on top of his sentence. In total, he spent more than 3 decades behind bars. He was finally released in 2015. In interviews after his release, Killick spoke about regret, about love, and about how his escape became bigger than anything he had ever planned. The escape of John Killick and Lucy Dudko remains one of Australia's most infamous prison breaks. A story of love, obsession, and bold desperation. A librarian who hijacked a helicopter. A convict who rode it to freedom. And a country that watched it all unfold in disbelief. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more unbelievable true crime stories just like this. Thanks for listening.